Ladies and gentlemen, this is Manzoor Mehman from PBC TV Network. I'm very proud to see one of my very old friend, a nationalist leader from Pakistan in my studio. Dr. Qadir Magsi is here, and we talked to him about Sindh, Pakistan and international politics. And I want to give you a brief introduction about Dr. Qadir Magsi. He was born on the 25th December 1962 in the city of Thatta, which is close to Karachi, a very beautiful place. I have lived there too. He went to college and he did his Doctor of Medicine, which is called MBBS, which is like a MD, equivalent to MD in United States. And during his college time, he joined a party which used to be GSN, the Student Federation, which at that time was working on the cause of people of Sindh. And later on, he created a group which was called 30% wing of GSN, which means like a progressive party within the party. And he was part of GSN movement, which was led by G.M. Syed, who was one of the founding members of Pakistan movement, and later on broke away from the Pakistan team and worked on issues of Sindh only, and politically could not be successful because of his isolated policies. So because of those kind of isolated policies, Qadir Magsi created a group and then later on established his own party in 1991, which is called Sindhi 30% Party, which is means Sindhi Progressive Party, and he preaches and practices one Pakistan, and with the framework of getting the rights for the Sindh, and which is one of the reasons I want him to come on the international forum. And generally, people who talk about Sindh, they are labeled as like a traitors to Pakistan, which is a very unfortunate that the people who are part of the Sindh, Pakistan was created with the help of Sindh Assembly, who voted for Pakistan. And today the people who talk about Sindh, they are called traitors. And it's very unfortunate that we do not raise those voices, and people like Qadir Magsi has raised this question and trying to tell the people that we want to live in harmony with other nations, other ethnic groups under one umbrella of Pakistan. So this is the reason I want him to talk to you directly to see what he thinks about the different issues. Tell me something. I know you shied away from G.M. Syed because his policies were more kind of isolated towards the breakup of Pakistan, and was that a fundamental reason that you left that group and created this progressive group which preaches to live under one umbrella of Pakistan?
Sai G.M. Syed has created an ideology for the separation of Sindh from Pakistan. He worked for Sindhudesh. So when we joined GSN Federation, we were not so aware, we were not so much educated. So that time, General Zia hanged Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. He was a popular leader of the Sindh. Peoples were hating General Zia because to hang Bhutto. So Sindhi youth were motivated toward GM Syed. GM Syed's ideology, anti-Punjabi, anti-General Zia, all slogans were there. When we get awareness and we got education, political education, there was a serious differences with GM Syed for the democratic situation in Pakistan. At that time, there was a popular movement which was started by People's Party. That was a movement for the restoration of democracy, MRD movement. We were supporting the democratic movement. GM Said was opposing the movement. So we got a serious differences with GM Said step by step. And when I was in jail in 1990, we created a group within the GSM. Educated youth were gathered around us, and we said we should go for the parliamentary politics in the Pakistan. We should oppose the feudal system of the Sindh and feudal leadership for the parliament in Pakistan. So we have to create a new leadership for the parliamentary system, even for the nationalist movement of Sindh. So in 1991, when I was jailed, our friends, they were outside. They founded this party. They keep foundation of this party, Sindh Tarki Pasand Party, Sindh Progressive Party, with the slogan anti-feudal, anti-centralization of the Pakistan to make Sindh more sovereign and autonomous state within the Pakistan.
Tell me something, that you participated in 2013 election and you lost, at the National Party you lost, and your party people left you also because of the failure to come in the ballot. Why the people are not, Sindh people from Sindh, why they are not voting for the people who are talking about their race, for their issues, and why they don't want to vote for you, why they want to vote for the People's Party, which is though done a little bit, but not much for the issues of the Sindh.
Because Pakistan's electoral system is a very difficult for a common man. Because a person who's contesting election, he need at least 50 million rupees for single seat of Provincial Assembly to contest the election. So as a common man, me or my other friends or even any progressive person of society, he cannot get spent 50 million rupees for a single seat.
So it become a business. Politics has become a business.
Politics become a business. That's why we are struggling to bring electoral reforms in the Pakistan, number one, and to preach the people, to inspire them to vote against this feudal system of the Pakistan.
Pakistan is considered to be a democratic country, on the surface, of course, but not a single elected leader has finished
completed his tenure.
Except Barry Bhutto. He got lucky that he had 5 years, and then on the second election he lost. But apparently
that was the early election. Bhutto's election was expected in 1978 because he became Prime Minister in 1973. He has to complete it 5 years.
Yeah, but technically
he came early elections.
Early election. So technically, no Prime Minister has survived the 5 years. Except the Asif Zardari rule of 5 years.
So he changed 2 Prime Ministers. Asif Zardari.
So technically, not a single Prime Minister has served for 5 years.
5 years, yeah.
So it's a kind of a myth that it is not the electoral process which really needs to be rehabilitated in Pakistan, but it's the establishment which is behind these changes from the day one the Pakistan has come in being. Who make the decisions and who keeps on changing. So the first question is this establishment the myth or the true fact? And who is this establishment, you think, who controls the politics?
In political terms, it is called establishment, but establishment is nothing, it's army who rule behind the curtain in the country. And Pakistan is a security state. It is not a democratic or welfare state, it is a security state. So politicians, during 70 years, we come to that understanding that in the Pakistan election held with the consent of the Pakistani establishment, even with the international establishment. Pakistan has in the Pakistan politics, USA, Washington has a great role to play. London, UK, they play their role to control the election. Who will be the Prime Minister of Pakistan? Who will be President of Pakistan? Who will be Chief of Foreign Staff? There should be a consent from all these superpowers. If they can give their consent, the person will be designated on that position. So this is a great irony.
So these leaders have to go and sell themselves to these people.
You may say that.
Yeah, but like I have heard that Asif Zardari has been blessed by United States to become the next power broker in Pakistani politics. Do you think it's happening?
First he paid the price in the sacrifice of Benazir Bhutto. Now he is getting reward.
He had a legitimate reward for 5 years. Don't you think that's enough?
Because he is a very cunning man. So when Nawaz Sharif is totally failed, he cannot deliver to the people, he cannot fulfill his promises with the establishment or even foreign forces. So he is changed now. So Zardari want to replace Nawaz Sharif and want to take set.
But let me ask you one thing. Corruption-wise, Nawaz Sharif is also corrupt, and Asif Zardari has also done a lot of corruption. But how come Asif Zardari, they cannot indict him on any of the corruption charges? Why is he so smart that he has done all these deals in such a way that they cannot catch him? And on the other side, even a cunning man like Nawaz Sharif got caught.
I think before Nawaz Sharif, you have heard about the Trump bandit coin. Mr. 10%, he was Mr. Zardari. When Benazir was in power, he was famous. He was declared as a 10% man. 10%.
Yeah, but why they couldn't indict him? They have got so many
Saray Palace, Suez case. So all was related to Mr. Zardari. Now he is a very, you may say, worthy person to the Pakistan establishment or as well as international establishment. So he is good to them.
Good to them. So you think that he will be coming back
He
in
will
power?
become a very
Yes. Asif Zardari, Nawaz Sharif, Imran Khan, 3 of them.
I reject 3 leaders as a leaders because Zardari is a power broker man, he is not a leader. Nawaz Sharif, post Musharraf, we were expecting that Nawaz Sharif will be act as a real democratic leader, but he's failed. He believed in Amirul Mu'minin philosophy, so he want to be imperial of the Pakistan. So he's totally failed. Imran Khan, he is in haste to be a prime minister, so I don't think so he will be a prime minister for beneficial for the people.
You think so?
Yeah, of course.
Well, let me talk about the General Musharraf. You have seen, you were in jail during General Musharraf's time? But
yeah, we were in jail that days.
Let me ask you one thing. United States gave a lot of money to Pakistan. And I just want to share you a story that the day the President Musharraf came into Washington and he was having a dinner with the President Bush, that day I had a meeting with a chairman of Appropriation Committee of US Congress. And I asked him and I told him that you will be sitting on that deal of announcing $6 billion. And I told him that can you put a clause in the aid package that at least 50% of the money should go to the infrastructure of Pakistan. And he did get that clause in that bill. But even then, in 10 years of General Musharraf's tenure, so much of US taxpayer money, which is my taxpayer money, was given to Pakistan. There was no
audit.
There were no, not only the audit, but the thing is, all the money vanished. There were no development in the Pakistan. Not a single kilowatt of electricity was added to the grid system. Why? What is wrong with our people? Why these people, they come in, they got so much money, they get it, and they just eat away and don't do it anything for poor people? Why is that?
Pakistani rulers serve their masters from where they get money. So they work for the wishes of these masters, even America, even UK, from where they get aid, even IMF, they dictate the terms and conditions of the economy.
But who's stopping them to have a
People
school and hospital?
No, they don't want to develop an infrastructure of the country. Only they are interested in corruption. They only want to make money for their kids and to be Shenshahs and imperials and kings. They are not committed to the society.
You think Musharraf is a billionaire?
This time it seems to be.
It seems to be, like people are saying.
Yeah.
You know, so do you see him?
Palaces in Dubai.
Yeah. Do you see him coming back as a leader of MQ after Altaf?
No, I think Musharraf's era is over now.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see. Okay. Tell me something about Pakistan's budget. You know, we understand that most of the budget, my numbers are saying that about 85% of the budget goes to the army. And
Not army, but debt service.
yeah, with army, debt services, you know, but only 15% goes to the infrastructure. And that also
Not infrastructure, so executive.
supposed to be. Yeah,
supposed
to be for the common people, and most of that is corruption. 10% from the bureaucrats they eat away. So nothing trickles down to the common man. So you think there's a possibility these people will revolt one day and there will be a revolution like a China or something like that?
In Pakistan, it is not so easy to bring a revolution because it is a multi-class and multinational society. Sindhi, Baloch, Pashtun, Punjabis, Saraikis, they all nations think separately. So this is not a chance to bring a revolution or to unite the people as a one nation, as a one power. It is very difficult.
It's very difficult. But you think there
So
will
through democracy you can bring the reforms to change the society.
but you don't see any
revolution, no.
Okay. What about breaking up of Pakistan, which we discussed before also? That
I
you
don't-
think there will be the master plan ever that Pakistan will be divided into 4 or 5 countries like Yugoslavia?
It is publicized by MQM or their supporters, but I don't think so. It is so easy. Pakistan is a nuclear power, and Karachi is the backbone of Pakistan. It is an economical hub. So Pakistani establishment, I think it is not so foolish to support this type of agenda. So it is not easy to break up Pakistan within different parts or within 3-4 autonomous states.
So as long as the army is strong, the Pakistan remains, you know, at a
In Sindhi's favor, we support Pakistan's integrity, territorial integrity, because we believe Sindhis are more secure in the Pakistan, within Pakistan state. If Pakistan will break, it will be most dangerous for Sindhis, because Sindhi society is a multi-ethnic, multi-racial, multi-color society. Whereas in the name of Muajir, there are so many militants. In the name of Pashtuns, there are militant various groups. In the name of Taliban and other groups, they are working in Sindh militant groups. We cannot survive in that condition to make Sindh as an independent or sovereign entity.
Okay, let me ask you one thing. Nawaz Sharif had a small foundry and he became a multi-billionaire. Asif Zardari, also his father has
Ordinary man, yeah.
Ordinary man, couple cinemas, you know, a little bit land, and they become billionaires. How Pakistan what they can do to bring that wealth which they have stacked outside the countries, you know? Do you think there is any possibility that this wealth can come back to Pakistan, or maybe themselves feel that instead of investments outside, they bring them invest in Pakistan? You know, it can really develop their country.
This time, it needs committed leadership for Pakistan. This time, it is not available in the market, in the society. So who will bring the looted money from abroad?
Maybe one army general, maybe he can stand up and say, okay,
So,
yeah,
so how he will be?
maybe there could be one good army general who can say, okay, let's
Army general cannot survive without Americans' consent. He cannot continue his government without American and international forces consent. So it is very difficult.
But there is no possibility of all this illegal money which has been stored in to bring it back to Pakistan?
Not within quarter century, I think.
You don't see. What I wish, this is my wish, that I wish that these people
could this.
Okay, say for example, if the establishment decides that, okay, give them a complete cover, that, okay, we will not ask you where the money came in. Bring this money and invest in Pakistan. Don't you think that can change the whole course of the...
Yeah, of course it can change.
And that's my wish always been that, whatever money you
It is our wish as well.
Yeah, that they come in and then
invest this money in Pakistan,
industries and all that, and
employment of the common people. So
it can change the whole course of the world, And I always give the example of Malaysia. Malaysia has developed China in 50 years became a world power. Why we cannot do it? Because they are sincere with the country, and unfortunately we are not sincere with our country, and wish so that these leaders will do something about it. I want to first give you congratulations that you were charged for a lot of murders in 1988, and it took you how many years? 2017, finally they acquitted you completely. So it was how many? 12 and 17.
39
years.
We fought better in the court.
And that's a good battle,
Yeah.
And that is very...
So we went 5 years in jail for this case, for these charges.
Congratulations that you got acquitted.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Finally, the truth prevails, and that's what I tell the people. Be honest, do work for the people. And my request to you will be also to help as many people we can help, and try to educate the people to be part of the political process. So what's your final message for Pakistan, for Sindh, what you like to say?
My message is, first message for international forces, don't be so generous to put dollars in the country for the corruption of the rulers of Pakistan. So keep an eye and ask this money should go for the betterment of the people, not for the luxury life of these rulers, these kind of rulers. Number one. Number two, we Sindhis are very peace-loving people. We want to Pakistan society, a harmonious society for all kind of people, regarding in respect of their caste, creed, color, and their religion. We are Sufi people believe in humanity, so try to understand Sindhi's culture, Sindhi's civilization. We are ancient civilization of the world, so we must be treated, we must be understood, and we must be supported to make Pakistan a very democratic, very harmonious country, very peaceful country, to develop the
infrastructure,
to develop the human infrastructure for the facilities of human being. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, you heard Dr. Qadir Magsi, very good final words. I will always preaching to the civil society that until unless in Pakistan, we are not going to leave the ethnic thinking, Pakistan will never develop. It's very unfortunate that even the educated people who sit down in the living rooms talk about Pakistan, talk about the progress of Pakistan, but when the question of ethnicity comes in, they support the wrong kind of people. So first thing is that we must support good people, the people who can do some work for the country. I've always preached to work under the banner of Pakistan, and I being American now always preach my American friends also that I want to see Pakistan as a strong country. This is my request to all the American politicians, senators and congressmen that whenever we are approving any aid to Pakistan, there should be restrictions put on that aid, that the part of the money should go in infrastructure, education and medical field. Pakistan needs a lot of help in that, and unfortunately our rulers have ignored that. Another area where there's a lot of development required is the power production. Pakistan has not developed much of electricity, which is they have a problem, and that's hindering the progress of Pakistan. So that will be another place. The people who are in that field, there is a good opportunity in Pakistan to create some power plants which can produce electricity and which will help the country. And again, until and unless we are not going to be fair and honest with the world is not going to be a good place to live in. The American politicians must see that they pick right leaders who are not coming to power only for making money, but they are serving the people. And until and unless the people are not served, the world will be still a miserable place where I see from that right now in the whole world there is a turmoil, political turmoil and all that. And I did not talk about Kashmir issue with Dr. Qadir Magsi, but again, my view on the Kashmir has been that somehow there should be all these problems, Kashmir, Chechnya, Palestine, until and unless these problems are not resolved, the world will not be a peaceful place. So if we want to see the peace in the world, we as Americans, must play a key role in getting all these problems resolved. And then we will have a peaceful world. And I preach for peace and hope one day we'll have a peaceful world where there will be no fighting, nobody's kid will be unsafe, and will be eradicate hunger from places in Africa where the children are dying for hunger. So I wish we can put more effort on those issues rather than creating wars, killing innocent people in the wars with the bombs and all that. And lastly, environment. We are polluting environment, which is creating a lot of these thunderstorms and all that. And you are seeing the United States as being a target of all these storms, because of the global warming. And I hope that our government will be looking into these aspects. Again, the thing is, until and unless we do not have peace in the world, we will not have a peaceful life. Thank you very much and have a good day.